Hello and welcome to another edition of DBE TV News. We appreciate you staying with us from May when we started until now. We strive to bring you this regular update from the basic education sector every week. You are watching us on OpenView channel 122, on the DBE YouTube channel, or on BRICS TV channel 509 Starset. My name is Tsehohacho Moageng. In the news this week, we start in KwaZulu-Natal. The Basic Education Department, together with the Justice Department, are providing financial assistance for children of victims of apartheid. This is through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission process. We visited Mbude in KZN, where DBE officials went on a roadshow to help families apply for the funding support. Staying in KZN, we visit Zingeri Secondary School in Mbude to check on progress regarding curriculum coverage. The principal there tells us they are determined to get a 100% matric pass this year, despite some challenges they face. In the Western Cape, MEC Debbie Schaefer visited Laerskool Loris in Oudtshoorn at the start of National Book Week. We hear from her about the importance of reading, particularly for young children. And in our feature of women HODs in the basic education sector, we get to know Dr. Naledi Mbude, the head of department in the Eastern Cape. She speaks to us about projects she has started to improve the education there and how it is being a woman in the basic education sector. Remember, you can use any of our social media platforms to share your thoughts with us. On Twitter at DBE_SA and at DBE TV News, Facebook DBESA, Instagram DBESA. You can use the hashtag DBE News. The Basic Education Department, together with the Department of Justice, are offering financial assistance to victims of apartheid, their qualifying relatives and dependents. However, the families or individuals must have been declared as victims by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the TRC. Applications for the 2021 academic year have concluded, but the Basic Education Department is traveling to various parts of the country to assist those in need with the applications. Officials from the DBE have been in KwaZulu-Natal, the province with the most applications. DBE's Elijah Mhlanga was there and filed this report.
Members of the community in Sonkombe, Mbude, KwaZulu-Natal have gathered today to continue to apply for financial assistance from the government. This is part of the TRC process between the Department of Justice and Department of Basic Education.
Before we came here, we sent them an SMS informing them of our coming and the documents that they have to submit. Those documents are their certified ID copy, the birth certificate of their beneficiaries, their proof of income. Some are getting SASA or the pay slips, and if they are self-employed, they have to go to the police station to do an affidavit for that. And also if they are not employed, they have to do the affidavit for unemployment. And also the important document that we are requesting from them is the school confirmation from the school that they have to bring along. And also there's the report, the school report. Yeah, those are the documents that you are here to collect.
The TRC Bursary Fund was established in 2015 to assist victims who suffered under the apartheid era. The aid covers full tuition fees, boarding, textbooks, transport and meal allowances. However, the process has not been without challenges.
We have realized that most of the members here in this community, they didn't know about this offering of this program. So we decided to do the roadshow for that. And we have also realized that they lack resources because they are coming from previously a disadvantaged background for them to submit those required documents that we came here to collect.
The Justice Department has started roadshows to inform communities about this financial assistance, and since then, there have been many more people applying.
This program started from 2015. As the years goes and then the application are increasing. So we actually receive different number of applications each and every year. So they increase a lot. It just depends. For 2021, we have normally received 2,129 so far. And imagine 2015, we have received 333 applications. So you can just check the gap. It's very huge. So each and every year they increase and increase.
Some people, like community members in Mbude, were still unaware of this program. They were assisted by a committed member of the community who is also a beneficiary of the initiative.
Umsebenzi wami ukusiza umphakathi. Wafika uthi uyasila usiza ngokomshado. Waveza amafomu amabhasari. Ngasukumela phezulu ukuthi hayi ngeke. Ingane sifundisa akhoma lasisebenzi. Uthi uyasiza. Ufundisela ingane uyagqibeza amaziya esikoleni. Yonke leyo nto nje. Uyasiza nje. Ngase ngihamba ke ngase ngayiqala ngaleza esigodini kanodweki. Ngayiqala khona ke sayenze mobile. Wabona athi bangifonela la ngibuza abantu. Wabona athi abantu baningi abasonkombo ngoba lento yalimaza wonke usonkombo. Ngase ngiqala manje ngakhulumana nekhansela la at level. Watshela ukuthi manje ufuna ukusebenza kanje sosebenzela la ehholo. Hayi ukhansela wanginika ihholo njengoba silana nje ukhansela naye sibambisene ukuthi sisebenzele abantu. Hayi njengoba bekhona ke nje yonke lento yenzakalana nenduna futhi naye inesandla sibambisene ngoba ngabaxhuma bonke lawo bantu ukuthi bazi ukuthi sizosebenza la sebenzela ingane ngoba asisebenzi.
Some beneficiaries spoke to DBE TV News. They say they are hoping to get this financial help because they believe it will make a difference in their lives.
Ngayithola imali eyodwa 5,000 abantwana abayi3. Ize yayincane kodwa ngayithenga ama-uniform necathulo neshuthi ke yaphela ke. Ngoba imbijana. Ukuthi ke angichazelekanga kahle noma ekapheli 18 noma 2019 kwase ngibhale kayi3. Kodwa engikwazi kahle 2020 vela ngayithola.
Ngive ko-attenda kwa-CRC la abazela nosizo mayelana nabantwana bethu abasey'koleni njengokuthi uma wami uHawukile Msomi wayekade victim kwi-TRC wayitholile le mali engango-30,000 ngaleyo mnyaka lo wayekhishwe ngawo. Manje-ke abaka-CRC sebeza kuthina ukuzosiza ukuthi basiqhubele abantwana bethu ey'koleni ukuthi basizakale ngama-uniform, i-transport njengoba nje behamba ngomalumu ke esikoleni. Sizobhalisa izinto ey'kanjalo ukuthi sikwazi ukusizakala ebantwaneni babe nendlela elula yokukhokheleka ukuya esikoleni nokuthengeleka i-uniform. Ilokho kusilethele la njengosukwini lanamhlanje.
Missing documents and some incomplete information have resulted in some members of the community who have come to apply being turned away.
Two reasons. Beneficiaries, they tend to take their children to private schools, of which we don't fund because the regulation doesn't allow us to fund private schools. And also, when we do our means test, we check their income. If they fall under vulnerable household. If they don't fall under vulnerable household, we have to reject the applicant and send her the letter.
The two departments say this program is to ensure that everyone in the country gets the education that they deserve. Elijah Mhlanga, Ndwedwe in KwaZulu-Natal.
Stay tuned. After the break, we get more news from KwaZulu-Natal, but also from the Western Cape.
The future of South Africa lies in your hands. Our goal is to ensure that your health is taken care of so that you can continue building your future.
Vaccination is just the end point. We've got Higher Health, which is our own institution that has helped us greatly. They came up with an app very early to do a health check. You can check yourself every day. every morning to see if we have got any symptoms that could actually suggest that you have actually been infected or you could have been with people who actually have been infected. And also the sector actually has managed to set aside, almost each and every campus has got an isolation room. You know, we've trained tens of thousands of students and staff volunteers. That means we are going to be vaccinating an estimated 250,000 staff members and senior students. And we are really hopeful that by the time 3 weeks is up, we would really have vaccinated largely the whole sector. This is really about social solidarity and working together. If you vaccinate yourself, you are not only saving your lives, but you are also saving lives of other people.
From the 1st of September, young people aged 18 to 34 years old can register to vaccinate on vaccine.enroll.health.gov.za or call 0800 029 999. Brought to you by Higher Health.
Zingeri Secondary School in Mbude in KwaZulu-Natal has a number of challenges, including burglary and poor infrastructure. But learners and teachers are still determined to succeed. The school, situated in the rural areas of KZN, has been in existence for many years now. The principal, Bongumusa Ndimande, says the school was built by community members. The school is located on the hills, and on rainy days, learners are released early to go home for safety reasons. The school says some of them have to cross rivers daily to get to school and back home. Even with the disruptions, the matric class of 2021 has completed their curriculum.
Our buildings are too old. The material that is used in the school is terrible. The roof might fall to the learners because we are still using asbestos, which is harmful to the learners' health. So that is a problem. Also, the pregnancy, more especially on grade 12 learners, they tend to be pregnant, more especially the females, when they are at grade 12, and that is disturbing their learning phase. You see, that's a major thing. And another problem that we have here in KZN is burglary. The community sees the school as a place where they can get whatever they want to get. Like here in our school, here, we are suffering. Our community is taking electricity. They are taking the wires from the school. So day in, day out, our security is chasing people, taking electricity wires. As we are talking, 2 buildings are without the electricity. That was taken 2 weeks back. That's a major thing that we have.
Ndimande is very proud of some of the successes from the school, and with 63 grade 12 learners for 2021, he says they are sure to get a 100% pass.
The school is full, but not on its capacity. We have a lot of learners. Our enrollment is increasing year in, year out. As we speak now, our learners are 671 from 550 last year. And I would say maybe we are coping because of this COVID, because we are changing the grades per week. So in another week, it's grade 8, grade 10, and grade 12, and followed by grade 9, grade 11, and grade 12. So that helps us to accommodate everyone, because otherwise we'll be having a challenge. And the other thing is that our matrix results are improving. That have improved successfully from 2018. 2018 we had 45%, 2019 we had 93%, 2020 we are sitting at 83%. I think the decrease was because of the COVID. So we did not finish our curriculum correctly. So that has just disturbed us. But we are hoping this year that our target this year, it's 100%. We are given by the district 90%, but we said who's going to fail? Everybody must pass.
Although there are some learners who have had to leave school because they fell pregnant, Ndimande says their parents have committed that they will be back next year to complete their schooling year.
On grade 12, at the beginning of the year, there were 66, and 3 of the learners fall pregnant. And fortunately, I would say, fortunately for the school, they fall pregnant at the beginning of the year, first term. They were highly pregnant, and we called their parents, and we talked to the parents because of the status of pregnancy, that they cannot cope, you see. And we made an agreement with the parents that let them drop for this year, and next year when they come, we're going to bring them back to grade 12, because we saw that as if they are losing the first term, obviously that will be an indication of a failure, you see. So it's only the pregnancy problem that we had, but otherwise COVID-19, no, we did not have dropouts because of the COVID-19. I think we have to work in hand with the Department of Health. Like here at our school, we have clinics here, Mologoslo Clinic and Banyoso Clinic. We are working hand in hand with those people. They have some sessions whereby they visit our school, and they talk about these things. They teach the learners how they have to behave. I think if the Department of Education can have that particular relationship with the Department of Health, whereby the Department of Health will come to school regularly and have sessions with the learners, I think that can decrease the rate of pregnancy.
This is his message to the matric class of 2021 at Zingeri Secondary School.
The message I gave to them at the beginning of the year is that I don't want to see them next year here. So they have to pass, and they have to make us proud. We are looking at the bachelors. If they fail to get the bachelors, only the diplomas, and we don't want any higher certificates. So I told them that the higher certificate is as good as fail, you see, and they are promising.
Western Cape Education MEC Debbie Schaefer spoke to parents and encouraged them to instill reading in their children from an early age. Schaefer visited Laerskool Lourens in Oudtshoorn at the start of National Book Week. This year, National Book Week takes place from the 6th to the 12th of September. She also took the time to engage with parents and teachers on various other matters. She was pleased to hear about the great working relationship between the community at large and school governing body members.
On Monday, I visited Laerskool Lourens in Oudtshoorn to kick off National Book Week by spending some time reading with foundation phase learners. National Book Week is celebrated in September each year, aimed at encouraging all South Africans to value reading at all ages. It runs from 6 to 12 September in 2021. Reading, particularly in the foundation phase, is a strategic priority for the WCED. The ability to read and write is the foundation on which all further learning is based, and the ability to read for meaning and pleasure is without a doubt the most important skill that children can learn in primary school. I urge all parents to encourage their children to read from an early age. A love of reading is the greatest gift you can give them.
Stay tuned. After the break, we find out from Dr. Naledi Mbude, the HOD in the Eastern Cape Education Department.
All I want is to feel safe, to feel loved, and to be free to show love, like you.
I cry when I'm hurt, because to feel is to be human. I pledge to be more open about my emotions.
Make it part of the new normal for young boys to be nurtured and loved, to freely express themselves and to show love in a safe, inclusive way. We have different gender identities, but first, we are human. If you need assistance to help your child, contact Childline on 08000 55 555.
Welcome back. Now, let's move over to the Eastern Cape, where we find Dr. Naledi Mbude, the head of the department. She is one of 5 HODs in the basic education sector who have been profiled by DBE TV News since August. Mbude grew up in the Western Cape in Inyanga with her siblings and parents. She says the importance of reading was instilled in her from a very young age, when her mother, a domestic worker, would bring home medical books from her employer. A scientist and mother of 2 boys living with autism, Mbude says she wants to inspire children who are living with a disability to grow up believing that they too can do anything that they put their minds to. She urges society not to box these young children. She hopes her project for young girls will encourage them to always attend school, even when they are on their menstrual cycle.
The analysis of the data that comes out of the Section 58B schools is interesting, and I'm rolling this out with all the other schools as well, because I'm realizing, one, that the streaming of subjects in the Eastern Cape has been a weakness, because you find a school with 6 to 7 streams. That is catastrophic, because you are going to have 5 learners in that one stream. That is a waste in terms of the post-provisioning norms, the PPN, in terms of LTSM, in terms of infrastructure. So we have not been doing well the issue of mainstreaming the streams. So that's a project that I've uplifted, and I've put people together to work on the issue of curriculum streaming. That's number one. The other area that is a weakness as well is the issue of making sure, as we do what we do, the diversification of the curriculum is something that we have been weak in. Schools compete and not complement one another. So the second landscape planning that has been done by GTEC in terms of which school offers which subject in that area has led to kids leaving the province or going to other districts where we have mega schools versus unviable schools. That whole area is also something that we have projectized in the 100-day plan called Bambelela Siyajika, which is the new strategy. The last one is the issue of the profiling of who has been producing these results, for how long, in terms of the management of the school, of the principal. If it's that same principal who's been sitting in those Section 58B schools meetings, we know that the principal needs help. You can't underperform for 3 years and serially underperform and we think that you can produce something different. You can't do the same thing and hope for different results. So a spotlight on who this principal is and what is the issue is what I've analyzed and come up with the data that I'm doing for all the Section 58B schools. Secondly, the profiling of the educator. I don't want us to go to learners if the problem is with the educator. Now, the recognition and acknowledgement of that you've been teaching the subject to different kids over 3 years and this is your result means that we must come closer to you. It might be that you need assistance or we need to change you from where you have been to a subject that you are more comfortable with. It means, therefore, that maybe it is a redeployment problem, maybe you are unable to deliver that subject, but you can't run after the learners when the problem is with the subject teaching. And thirdly, if it is with the learner, what is it with the learners? So we've also taken up Nzali app from Telkom, where we are communicating directly with the parent, so that parents begin to take a more active role. We know, children in the Eastern Cape come from child-headed homes. Their parents are elsewhere working, and they might be with the grandmother, and most of their grandfathers and grandmothers are dying from COVID. So the possibility of vulnerability has increased in the province, making our learners more vulnerable. But looking at where those learners are, particularly girl learners, I'm very interested. I've started a campaign called hashtag Dignity for Girls, where we are collecting donations, and we've launched the project about 2 weeks ago. Because from the research that is there, Ukumala particularly, that girl learners, particularly from poor homes, might lose 4 days, a month of schooling, because it takes about 4 to 5 days to have a menstrual cycle. Now that amounts to a huge number of days that are lost. So the focus on the girl child, because I do bring my gender to the post, where these girl learners are, who are they? What challenges are they experiencing, and who is taking care of them? Because as they lose school, they go into marriage, do early marriage. They have children earlier on. So if we in the schooling sector can maintain and make sure that we make things better or easier for girl children in the system, then we would have managed to catch that cohort that we lose out in the system each time there's an exodus of learners, particularly now during COVID. So it's important that our girl learners remain at school, including our boy learners, and teaching boy learners why it is important to support girl children in school and remaining there as well.
You're one of 5 HODs in the country. Do you feel that it is a safe space for women in the basic education sector? We do know that most teachers are female, actually, but do you feel that as an HOD, you are now within a safe space, you are the majority, and you guys can converse amongst each other as the 5 HODs?
I feel the hostility of entering a male space. And the hostility has to do with the amount of work outside of normal parameters. Because as a mother, you begin to feel that my kids must take a back seat and everybody's kids must take a front seat, which is the sacrifice that you have and you make as you get into this level. But at the same time, I see why women don't talk about their problems, because you seem as if you petty if you are saying, hey, we've already had 5 meetings today. You are seen to be weak, or you are seen to be giving up, or you are just being a woman. While your kids tomorrow, your own children that you have given birth to, are sacrificing the process because you are trying to navigate a space that men have decided what it should be to be an HOD. I have 76,000 workers. The employees in the education department are 76,000. It's the biggest department in the province. Now, if you have 76,000 workers or employees, their problems are 76,000 multiplied. So there is never a moment to be a mother. So bringing this element of acknowledge that you are a woman, you're not going to be like a man and not worry about your kids. I'm not saying men are not worried about their kids, but the realization that it has to be extra from you. It has to it takes something more, because you already come into a space that has been defined by parameters of maleness and patriarchy. It's very, very difficult. And every time you manage issues, you always feel that people feel good. They must give you advice for free. Maybe you are reactive, or maybe you are emotional. All the taggings and labels used for women. And when you feel good, we are not moving with enough speed on matters, people think that, oh, she's a woman, she's panicking. So it's not easy. But I'm amazed at the same time, at the same level, on the support I'm getting from colleagues and from peers, and nationally and provincially as well. It's amazing the change that is happening out there. It's taking time, but it will get there.
The full interview with HOD Dr. Naledi Mbude is available on the DBE YouTube channel. And that brings us to the end of this week's news roundup on Channel 122 on OpenView, on YouTube, and on BRICS TV Channel 509 Starset. Remember to stay safe and to comply with all the COVID health protocols. Until next time, it's goodbye from me and the entire team. Thanks for watching.